My brothers and sisters, as I shared with you at the beginning of our liturgy, we are honored today to have sisters and brothers from Oakland's Catholic Worker to share the good news with us. I thought we had almost lost our homilist, but he's back, ready to do it, okay? So I'm going to reintroduce you to Bob LaSalle Klein, Dr. Klein. I'll have you introduce the rest of our team this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for having us, Father Leo, for welcoming us. So I'm Bob LaSalle Klein. In 1986, when I had a lot less gray hair, 30 years ago, a group of us refounded the Oakland Catholic Worker to receive homeless mothers and fathers and children who were in the Bay Area. I'm chair of religious studies at Holy Names University and a theologian. One of our board members is here. Steve, I saw you coming in. And one of my former students, Ann, is out here in the congregation. So we feel like, we're amongst friends and family here. I'd like to introduce Sandra, who's going to give her testimony, and her son, Justine, who's here, and Victoria, who's a graduate of Seattle University, where my daughter is a senior, and Joanna, who is a student at the Jesuit School of Theology in Berkeley. So I'm going to turn the pulpit over here in a minute to her to give her testimony, and then I'll be back and we'll talk a little bit about the Word.
¿Todo? No, solo por poquito. Ya, por poquito. Hola, me llamo Sandra. Yo vine acá, soy de Guatemala.
Hi, my name is Sandra. I'm from Guatemala.
Con mi hijo Justin salimos mes de junio.
I came here with my son, Justin. We came in June.
Escapando de violencia doméstica.
Escaping domestic violence.
Que duró 3 años.
That lasted 3 years.
La policía de Guatemala no nos pudo ayudar. Entonces tenía que salir del país para seguridad de los dos.
The police in Guatemala did not help us, so we had to leave for the security of both of us.
Cruzamos el borde de camiones, tráiler y autos y nos llevó 11 días para llegar a México desde Guatemala.
We crossed the border in trucks, trailers, cars, and it took us 11 days to get to Mexico from Guatemala.
Fue un camino difícil porque no había suficiente oxígeno en los camiones.
It was a difficult journey because there was not enough oxygen in the trucks.
También con mucho miedo de las autoridades mexicanas, transportando con menor, ya que Justin es un niño muy inquieto y era difícil mantenerlo tranquilo.
We also were very afraid of the Mexican authorities, and it was difficult to transport my son since he is very active.
Llegamos al país y nos detuvieron por 3 días. Estuvimos detenidos en la hielera sin cobijas, sin agua, y nos mantenían con una sopa instantánea. Para los adultos y para los niños, un jugo de cajita 3 veces al día.
We got to the country and they detained us for 3 days. We were detained for 3 days in a cold room without blankets, water, and they just gave us some instant soup for the adults, and the kids were given little juice 3 times a day.
Después nos llevaron a un albergue en San Antonio por 11 días. Las personas que se enfermaban ahí no fueron atendidos adecuadamente. Llegamos a Oakland en julio Estuvimos quedando con familiares, pero pronto teníamos que salir de la casa de ellos porque no había espacio para nosotros. Encontré el obrero católico a través de un primo y mudé ahí con mi hijo para poder tratar de trabajar y ahorrar, encontrar ayuda. Es una gran ayuda estar en el obrero católico porque tenemos que comer, vivir. Nos han ayudado bastante en asesoría, mucho sobre servicios sociales.
So then they took us to a place in San Antonio for 11 days. The people there that got sick were not adequately attended to. We arrived in Oakland in July. We were staying with family, but we soon had to leave because there wasn't enough space. We found the Catholic worker through my cousin, and we moved there with my son to try to work and save money and find help. It's a big help to be there because we have food and a place to stay. They've helped us find services.
Sí, agregar algo más.
Yeah. No, está bien.
Sí, gracias.
Thank you.
Sí.
Can't stand. There's a little over 7 billion people on the planet now. Today, 1 billion of them are migrating, fleeing violence, poverty, organized mafias like her. Central America and Mexico is afflicted with organized mafias, delivering drugs to U.S. kids and adults. As a matter of policy, the Oakland Catholic Worker doesn't advocate open borders, but we advocate a just solution for people caught, squeezed, children in this trap, their life being squeezed out of them, the most precious years of their lives being taken away by human traffickers and a broken immigration system. For us, though, this person is Jesus Christ. So that's the eyes of faith. Yesterday's gospel was framed by the question, who is Elijah? And Jesus answers the question. And he says, he's already come, and they didn't recognize him. He's John the Baptist. And he points to the Son of Man who's coming. Today, John the Baptist sends his disciples to Jesus with the question, are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another? And Jesus answers, I won't tell you yes or no, but I will tell you this. The blind regain their sight. The lame walk. Lepers are cleansed. The deaf hear. The dead are raised. And the poor have heard good news proclaimed to them. The poor who drive in trucks without enough air, who have to worry about their children running around and getting caught by immigration agents, who don't have enough to eat tonight. 1 billion of them migrating tonight, looking for shelter. Then he adds the kicker. Blessed is the one who takes no offense in me. Let me suggest a parallel to you for today. John the Baptist is Pope Francis, and his favorite American Catholic woman, Dorothy Day, founder of the Catholic Worker. Together they point towards Jesus in our midst today. He is here. Look for him. He's sitting next to you. He's alone on the streets of Oakland. In Evangelii Gaudium, Pope Francis, in his first big apostolic letter, says, with some heart, he says, I want a church that is poor and for the poor. Why? In their suffering, they know the suffering Christ. We are called to discover Christ in them, to lend our voices to their causes, to be their friends. So how will we know that we have found him? How will we know that our communities have seen Christ and experienced him personally? Today's gospel gives us the clue. The blind will regain sight, the lame will walk, lepers will be cleansed, the deaf will hear, the dead will be raised, and the poor will have good news proclaimed to them. To translate that into everyday language, the pediatrician after the last Mass who pulled me aside will come to the Catholic worker, and she'll share some of her skills. The White Elephant Sale will share some of their goods. We who are so blessed, in our careers and our lives, we'll give some of our time, we'll give some of ourselves. That's how they'll know that we are followers of this risen Jesus, that we find him today in our midst. This then is the work of the Oakland Catholic Worker. We welcome the stranger. About 30 families a year come and live with us. We have 7 bedrooms. And they come and they stay with us for 4 months, and they get on their feet. There are hundreds of houses in East Oakland now who have families who have gained political asylum and all kinds of benefits through our work. We have a new partnership with Catholic Charities. Together, we are welcoming migrant and refugee families into our midst, and this parish is part of that community. We feed the hungry. 30,000 people a year come to the Catholic Worker. Every Thursday, we give them food boxes. They can live a week on those. We clothe the naked. We visit the imprisoned. We accompany the rejected in their struggle for life and dignity. You heard about the 50,000 kids on the border from Central America? When they come to the Bay Area, some of them, after they get out of jail, they come and they stay with us. And we farm them out to families or some safe place to go. Legal and medical referrals. English ESL classes, 4 days a week, twice a day. Christmas gifts for immigrant children. We have a big celebration at St. Lawrence O'Toole with 500 families and kids. Catholic feast days. We got the Bishop of Oakland, my old classmate, to agree to celebrate the feast of Archbishop Oscar Romero this year. So we'll have a big Catholic feast day for him. So, what are our needs? Father Leo has invited us to share those with you, so I will do that now. 30 years ago, with a lot less gray hair, as I said, when we started this, we founded or restarted this Catholic Worker, but we haven't had heat. In all of those 30 years, there have been so many families who have come through our place, and they stay, and we give them the best we can give, but we haven't had heat. So we have a $100,000 project to install a heater. That, of course, means we can't have leaky windows or doors, so we've got to do that, and we're going to redo the envelope of the building. We need $5,000 to feed 30,000 people. How do you do that? On $5,000, feeding 30,000 people, loaves and the fishes. We distribute $1.2 million in food from the Oakland Food Bank, but we need a little bit of infrastructure to set up those tables out in front. We need funds to buy books for the ESL classes, Christmas gifts for the children, and we need parish partners like you to join us. So we're so excited to be here today with Corpus Christi. I wrote my doctoral dissertation right down the hill from here, and I'm so excited to be here finally. We've been in many parishes, but we haven't been in Corpus Christi, so we're so glad to be here. So, how can you help? Take a look in the pew, and you'll see these little golden cards. If you feel so moved, fill out one of the cards and put it into the second collection. You can take it home, you can send it to us later. The address is on the envelope. If you're a lawyer and you're good at nonprofit, if you're a doctor and you like to do education on health, come join us. We're happy to have you part of us. I'd like to finish by saying we got a special event going on here today, a baptism of a young, beautiful girl into our community. And the baptism of Jesus was his anointing with the Spirit of generosity, love, fidelity, and courage in the face of obstacles. You will face obstacles, but you will have the Spirit. We as a community will face obstacles, but we have the Spirit. I wrote to my old friend, Mike Barber, the Bishop of Oakland, 3 nights ago, and I said, Mike, we have winds coming that we will have to face. And migrants will face difficult days. And get ready to stand up in the face of a heavy wind and show who you are. And that's what we will do at the Oakland Catholic Worker. We thank you for blessing us with this wonderful welcome, and Father Leo, this wonderful welcome. And we, in the name of Christ who stands here with us to my left, bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
We thank Bob and our sisters for sharing the good news with us. And as Bob shared at the end of his reflection, this is what Ella, through her parents, to Elisa and George, this is what she's becoming a part of. Her parents are saying to her that they want her to know that that little boy over there, I was going to say Justin, but it's Justin. That little boy over there, Ella, is your brother. You speak 2 different languages. You come from 2 different places in the world, but he is your brother. And we believe that as Catholic Christians. So when we say yes to Justin, we're saying yes to our God. And this is what your mom and dad want for you. To see all these folks here as your brothers and your sisters. Did you know you had such a large family? It's even larger.